Hey everybody, how's it going? Welcome back to another MAMG Let's Play of Sweet Fuse. When we left off, we beat the game and I got left behind by Meoshi. I'm still bitter about that, by the way. I thought I did everything right, but of course I didn't. There's a lot of things that we could have done better in order to build our relationship with Meoshi, and it seems like you pretty much have to be flawless when it comes to that. So it seems like you're not really able to go through this blindly and get a good ending. I was hoping I'd be able to, but of course we need a guide in order to tell us all the right choices and decisions when it comes to these lovely gentlemen here. Now what I did learn is that there is a good and bad ending for each and every character, so that's a lot of endings for this game. But we're gonna get the good ending for Meoshi as well as try or at least start the journey for Mitarashi's good ending as well. I don't think we'll be able to get his good ending in one video. And the reason why I think that is because like the last 2 or 3 acts are you paired with that character specifically. So it's going to be a little bit, I don't think I'll be able to do each character in one episode. While it would be nice, I don't want the episodes to be super duper long. So what we're going to do is we'll go as far as we can and we'll see where we get from there. So first, the first mistake I made was in this hall right here. I was supposed to let Meoshi try going through the hallway. I decided to think about it some more because I didn't want the man to get hurt or shot with an arrow, but hey, what do I know? I'm just a terrible person apparently. I should have let him just try blindly and see how he does. Of course we know he's going to show off his ninja skills, but we didn't know that at the time. I think we're going to have to trust Meoshi. I didn't like it, but there was nothing else we could do. We were out of options. That's it. That's all it is. He's like, okay, here's a heart bomb. He looked at me in the eye and nodded, then turned and headed down the hallway. Okay, I think from this point, it's pretty much exactly what we know. So don't worry about it. I'll show you guys where the next divergent path is and why I messed up when I was trying to pair up with Meoshi. So we've successfully made it into the statue room, and last time I looked at the sliding doors with Mitarashi. Of course, we know that if we want Meoshi to be our husbando, we're gonna have to stick with him. So we're gonna examine the floor with Shirabe and Meoshi. I decided to investigate the floor with Shirabe and Meoshi.
Oi, 何かを見つけても下手に手を出すなよ。
We spread out in different directions, scanning the floor. It seemed totally ordinary until I spotted a mark about the size of my fist near a wall. There's something over here. It looked familiar, but I couldn't quite place why.
これは三つ葉葵だな。
Oh, that's the Mido seal.
俗に言う葵の御門ってやつだ。有名なところじゃ。お嬢ちゃんの言う通り、水戸黄門の印籠にも
Look
描
at
か
that,
れ
I'm
ている。
smart.
こいつは双葉葵っていう植物を図案化したものなんだが、通常は葉が2枚で、3枚葉のものはごく稀にしか存在しないらしい。
Oh, so they're like 4-leaf clovers, apparently. Meoshi spoke up.
この大江戸城はもともとは江戸を治める王家徳川家の城だった。主人公は実は徳川の血を引く武士なんだ。
So that means this is the crest of the ruling clan, right? Do you think that this could be the holy seal?
おそらくその通りだろうな。それによく見ろ。葵の御門の部分がわずかに出っ張ってる。おそらくスイッチになってるんだろう。
Then something will happen if we push it.
だろうな。ひとまずこんなところだろう。
Meoshi nodded, and we decided to regroup and see what the other teams had found. It only took a few minutes to go over everything we'd learned. Okay, so this is the same. I did forget to mention though, if you guys remember in the last video, I ran into a mysterious man, and I told him that the cell phone pendant was a gift, and they gave me a heart bomb. Apparently, if you want to get the good ending with everybody else, you have to tell him that, like, you have to ask him, you know this character. They won't close your relationship with that guy. I don't know. That's what it was told. I just quick save for no reason. But that's what I was told, is that I need to, like, kind of distance myself from him in order to get closer to all the other guys. That's what the guide said, and that's what I'm trusting, and I'm hoping I get a good ending. So there you go. If you guys are doing a playthrough yourself, even though it's a little bit into the video, I'm sorry. That's what you need to do. Okay, onwards to the next decision. So now we finally get to spend some time with Meoshi. I did go off on Hogstein, but I don't know how that affects my relationship with Meoshi. That's just what the guy told me to do, so I did it. I don't really think it's that important to the story. But anyways, this is where I was, and I don't remember what option I chose last time. I think I chose the going out with you might be fun, but we want to learn more about him, so let's do this. I just thought I might find out something about you, I guess.
何かある。
Yeah, there we go.
僕はゲームだけが取り柄の無職の引きこもりだ。
Oh, he went silent after that. I wasn't quite sure what he'd been trying to say. There we go, give me that love bomb. I frowned and kept walking, but I felt something tug at my sleeve. I turned around to see Meoshi grabbing it. Oh? Oh! So we missed the CG. Say what?
あの時はありがとう。
Back there?
怨念回路で僕のことを信じてくれた
Oh, yeah. So this wouldn't happen unless you let him try first and you made this choice. Interesting. Oh, right.
あの時信じてくれて嬉しかった。
Well, you know, it's nice, and then you left me. You left me in a hospital all by myself with a note and a game console. How touching, Meoshi. Okay. So I guess that's it for us here. And with that, he fell silent again. He's a little strange, huh? Just a little. We didn't say anything else until we reached the restaurant and met up with the others. Okay, so now we're back with everybody. So again, we're gonna jump forward and see what else we need to do in order to get that sweet, sweet true ending with Meoshi. Now again, we get to a completely BS part of the game because rock, paper, scissors does not tell you who you're gonna be paired up with. I had no idea who I was gonna be driving with, and I still don't know how it actually tells you who's gonna be what. But we chose rock, and we needed to choose scissors in order to pair up with this
僕と
guy.
君の二人がペアか。
Yeah.
よろしく。
Let's see how he does when he's driving. I'm sure we'll do fine. As long as I don't get in the way, at least. That left Shiro with Shirabe and Wakasa with Mitarashi. So it looks like Wakasa and Mitarashi always have to win because of the second part of this act. I climbed into my cart. Looks like there are two sets of controls. One for the wheel and one for the gas. I guess I've got the gas. Wait, Urabe won't be able to drive by himself. I looked over at him. He'll be
一
fine.
人で問題なく運転できるようになっておりますので安心してください
It's the trader mobile. Oh, good. He gave me a small smile, and I fell back into my seat, relieved. So I've got the gas pedal, and what are these? There were several buttons set across the dashboard. Missile, caltrops, oil, boost? Are these what Meoshi was talking about earlier? But none of them are lit up. I looked over to see Meoshi grasping the wheel with white, knuckled hands, his face unreadable. Dude's nervous.
よろしく。
Thank you. You too. He hadn't even turned to look at me. He's kind of making me worried, but he was amazing in the hallway yesterday, and we should be fine. I repeated that to myself and started examining the dashboard. When I placed my foot on the gas pedal, Meoshi suddenly spoke up again.
踏んだら走って離したら止まるから。
Yeah, that's how gas works. Yeah. I knew how a gas pedal worked. I just wasn't sure how we were going to work in tandem if we didn't talk. I don't think I'm gonna get much more out of him though. I sighed. All I could do was try my best and pay close attention. The roar of an engine startled me back to reality. Apparently Meoshi had started the cart. A piglet holding a flag appeared next to the starting line, and the signal light came on. It turned from red to green, and the race was on. Okay, here we go. Let's do it. Gah. The track was straight from the starting line until the first corner. Well, I should probably gun it here, and then ease off when we hit the curve. If we tried to take the curve too fast, then we'd be in trouble.
悪くないよ。
Thanks. Oh, thanks. It looked like my plan had worked out. We managed to move up 2 cars from the last place. Our communication wasn't great, but we seem to be doing well, despite that. We're in 5th place. Meoshi jerked the wheel to the side in the middle of a straightaway, taking us close to the edge of the track. I was about to ask why when I heard a noise.
よし、アイテムゲット。
Ah, he got one. Huh? What do you mean?
そこのボタン見てよ。
Oh. I looked down at the dashboard. The light next to one of the buttons was lit.
コースにハテナのマークあるだろ。あれの上を通過すると ランダムで一つアイテムが手に入るんだ。
Makes sense. Oh, so the lit missile button means...
ミサイルが使えるってこと。順位を上げるにはミサイルかブーストのどっちかがいい。アイテムは重複して持てないから、ミサイルをまた手に入れるためには撃たなくちゃならない。
I see. I wasn't quite sure I understood what was going on, but it is clear that pressing that button fired a missile.
今ちょうど目の前に黒子のカートがいるから、そのボタンを押してみて。
Alright, let's hit that button then. So, yeah, we want to go ahead and hit this. We don't want to doubt him, we want to go ahead and do this because it seems dangerous, but I just have to trust him. We need to build our trust with this guy. Otherwise, he's gonna ditch me in a hospital. Okay. I hit the button. Whoa! I felt the cart shudder, and a missile shot out from underneath it. It shot like a legit missile. It flew along the ground, then slammed into the other cart.
ナイス、やるね。
Ah, yay! More love. Thanks. A huge grin had suddenly spread across his face. I didn't even know he could smile like that. The missile attack slowed the piglet cart down enough that we passed it and moved up.
これで4位だ。
Awesome. Our good fortune seemed to have improved Meyoshi's mood, which in turn improved his driving. If I can just keep working the gas right, we might have a chance at winning this thing. Even though we still weren't exactly working in unison, we managed to keep our spot. By then, we'd moved into the second lap. Meoshi drove over another one of the question marks, and the Caltrops button lit up. The Caltrops button lit up and... wait, another one? The boost is on too.
気づかなかったかもしれないけど、ハテナのマークもう一個通過したんだ。
So you can't storm? When did he do that?
このボタンは最終周まで温存しておこう。この周回は普通に攻める。
Got it. I nodded and went back to focusing on the gas. We finished the second lap in the same position. Then finally, we were on the last lap.
そろそろまきびしの出番だな。僕の言う通りのタイミングで2つのボタンをどっちも押して。今だ。
Okay, let's do it. Right. I hit both buttons at once and mumbled a short sorry under my breath. The cart behind us hit the Caltrops and careened off the edge toward the track as it suddenly slowed. At the same time, the boost activated and shot our cart forward toward the lead group. In front is Shido and Shirabe, with the piglet cart behind them. Third is Mitarashi and Wakasa. Uh-oh. I barely finished talking when there was a loud boom, and Shido's cart suddenly slowed down.
2位の黒子がミサイルを撃った。
I wanted to see if Shido and Shirabe were okay, but I was too busy focusing on working the pedal. We flew past their cart, bringing us to third place. Huh? Did you say something?
いや、決め手にかけるなと思って。
We were coming up on the straightaway in front of the finish line, when suddenly Mitarashi's cart sped up. They passed the piglets! They're moving in the first place! As I spoke, the piglet cart spun out and veered off the track.
まずい、オイルだ。
Uh-oh. What? A black slick had appeared on the course just before the piglet cart lost control. After what Meoshi had said, I realized it had to be oil. Ah! We were going too fast to avoid the oil. Our cart went into a spin, careening toward the fence. Gah!
アクセル離して。
His voice shook me out of my confusion, and I pulled my foot up as fast as I could. Slowly, we began to slow down. Ah! Meoshi was doing his best to bring the cart under control, but it wasn't working. I squeezed my eyes shut. We good? Did we crash and die? Is that game over? No, we're good.
危なかった。
I opened my eyes a crack. The cart had come to a stop just feet from the fence. I let out a weak bark of laughter. If we'd run into the fence, we wouldn't have walked away with minor injuries, if we walked away at all.
怪我ない？
I'm fine. What about you?
僕は平気。
I sighed with relief.
大丈夫か？
Shido was already running over to us. Mitarashi and Wakasa had won first place. Oh, that's good. I just wish they would have thought a little more before they dumped that oil. Yeah, probably. Okay, So there we go. The kart racing challenge is done. We've made it okay, and Meoshi trusts us just a little bit more because we were his passenger driver. If that makes any sense whatsoever. Okay, onwards. So again, this one doesn't look like it's going to affect Meyoshi's relationship with us, but we want to tell Wakasa that the ceiling's going to crush us, for whatever reason. I shouted as loud as I could, but he didn't seem to hear me. Gah! I jabbed my finger at the ceiling. Wakasa looked up and gasped. I mimed the ceiling coming down, full of spikes. Midachi left the door and came over to the window. I saw his eyes widen as he noticed the ceiling.
どうやらこちらの声は届かないようだな。俺たちはあくまでもギャラリーでしかないというわけだ。
Shido frowned and made a shooing motion as the two men outside the window. I guess he's telling them to go back and solve the puzzle. They didn't seem to get it though. Mitadashi looked puzzled and Wakasa just kept nodding.
くそ、うまく伝わらない。
Yeah, we got it.
黒子のジェスチャーをもう少し研究しておくべきだったか。
He grimaced and punched a nearby wall.
みたらしさん、戻ろう。この家のドア、絶対に開かないよ。みんなを助けるには謎を解くしかないんだ。僕たち二人だけで。仕方がね。
Alright, well that's kind of funny. They turned his son back to the table as we all watched nervously. Alright, so yeah, that was kind of funny to watch Shido get all frustrated. But anyways, they told me that's what I'm supposed to say, so that's what I did. I'll keep going and let you guys know when anything else changes. So I guess we're going to be building Wakasa up just a little bit as well, because last time we tried to tell him the answer, but the guide tells me I should tell him to do his best. So Wakasa, give it your best, buddy, pal, friend. Do your best. I gave him the most cheerful smile I could manage, and he replied with a grin and a firm nod.
わかった。任せてよ。
Yeah, okay, thanks, Wakasa. I guess he understood me.
やっこさん、なんだか昨日とは雰囲気が違うな。
彼の真摯な正義の心を感じる。
They were right. The terrified Wakasa we'd seen the day before was nowhere to be found. Let's just hope that's enough to get us out of this. I tried to take a deep breath and relax. Okay, I mean, I guess that's a nice moment that he's grown, but at the same time, we know he's gonna freak out the hospital. Okay, so I guess that's it for that. Alright, cool. We'll keep moving forward, I guess. So it's been quite a bit since we've left off, but here we are, about to yell at Shirabe for getting mad at his daughter. I don't know why, but again, it tells me to do so, and I really want to see what the outcome is. So here we go. We're gonna yell at him. I don't think I've seen his shocked face yet. Oh, it's glorious.
悪かった。
That's right, you better be sorry. Adults are supposed to look after kids so they don't do stuff like that, right? I mean, you're her dad. You should have been paying attention to what she was doing. You didn't even ask her if she was okay.
確かに。
There you
お
go.
前さんの言う通りだ。
As long as you understand.
これじゃあ父親失格だな。
Yeah, give me that love bomb. You're not a terrible father. I should have been keeping an eye on her too. Just go easy on her, okay?
ゲームオーバーです。
Huh? What? I jumped. I hadn't noticed my alarm going off, but apparently I gotten excited enough to max out my gauge. Oh!
とにかく皆さん、一度
Oh,
落ち着いてく
so
ださい。
it would have been one or
みん
the
な無事だっ
other,
たんです。
right?
それで
Like,
よしとしようじゃありませんか。
yeah.
本当にすまん。前のことと
That's what it is. So either way, two people would have been upset here. Because I don't remember if Shirabe got mad first and then he maxed out his gauge, or I think he did, and then Shido got mad and then Shido maxed out his gauge. Makes sense. Okay, so we yelled at him and that's why I restrained myself, but we did so in order to get closer with Shirabe, even though in this run it's not even gonna matter. Fun. Neat. Interesting, I guess. So that's probably the quickest playthrough you've seen of this game. We made it to the end, and this is where it stopped me when I was fast-forwarding all the dialogue. I have no idea why, but let's see if it gives me a good ending. It better. It slowed me down here, so Koda and I sat down on the floor.
ダメだ。気が抜けた。
Me too. I smiled crookedly, and he did the same as he pulled me a little closer.
僕らはやり遂げたんだ。
I nodded and pushed myself up against his body. Whatever it was that had kept me going for the last 3 days was quickly disappearing, replaced by a profound and exhausted relief. I feel kind of sleepy. Instead of trying to fight it, I decided to give in. The game was finally over. I could sleep. Besides, I had someone who I knew I could trust right next to me. I'd be fine. You better be there when I wake up, I swear. I could hear our friends rushing over, but that was quickly fading along with my consciousness.
サキ、
He sounded far away.
目が覚めたら、その時は君に。
What? But before he could finish, I was just like, good job, Saki. Good job. Really? There's something I want to... Ah, jeez.
36度4分。平熱になったわね。体はどう？だるくはない？
I feel fine. I guess all that sleep fixed me up.
検査結果にも問題はなかったし。そうそう、傷も残らないで済みそうって先生おっしゃってたわよ。
That's
よ
good.
かったわね。
Great. Thank you so much. 3 days had passed since we'd finished the game. I didn't know what had happened in the castle after I passed out. After we left, I'd fallen into another fever and hadn't really woken up until days later. Oh, that's right, she was sick. What had happened to Hogstein, or about the public media had said about everything, was still a mystery to me. All I did know was that we'd all been admitted to the same hospital. They weren't letting me check out yet, but once they did, I planned to go visit the others and find out what had happened. There was one thing I did know though, where Kota was, and I knew that because...
向こうも測り終わったみたいね。
The nurse pulled back the curtain between my bed and the one beside it.
はい。
Yes!
メオシさんは何度でした？
Awesome!
35度2分です。
あら、相変わらず低体温ね。ダメよ。ちゃんと食べるもの食べて、運動も適度にしなくちゃ。
He blushed slightly as he handed the thermometer back. Good morning.
おはよう。
じゃあ二人とももうすぐ朝食の時間だからそれまで少し待っててね。
Okay. As soon as the nurse had left, Kota glanced over at me. Our eyes met and I grinned. Are you okay? Is it alright for you to be up?
ああ、うん、大丈夫。まだ鎮痛剤は飲んでるけど、動くのもだいぶ楽になってきた。
He had bruises all over his body, as well as a graze on his shoulder from the bullet and several other small cuts. Fortunately, he hadn't broken any bones, although he had needed a few stitches. It reminded me how much he'd looked out for me. My own wounds were just bruises and scratches.
君も熱下がったみたいだね。
Yeah, I'm totally fine. I didn't really get hurt that bad. I'm pretty much all better now.
そう。よかった。
There's just something amusingly adorable about the way he mumbled and blushed. Are you nervous?
するよ。だって昨日の今日だろ。
What? Oh, good. So you do remember. I was starting to think maybe you, weren't exactly awake or something. After all, it was a little strange that the first thing he'd say after waking up was, well... Oh, are you awake?
ここ。
It's a hospital. You collapsed back at the park. You've been asleep ever since.
病院。じゃあ入院？
Yeah. I guess I'll be done soon, but you need to stay in bed for a while.
そっか。
Hold on a second. I'll call a nurse or... What? As I got to press the call button, Kota reached out with a weak arm to stop me. I looked at him confused, but all he'd done was...
好きだ。
Okay. Huh?
君のことが。僕は。
He's asleep. Okay. I mean, you just woke up, said it, and then went back to sleep.
あの時はまだ朦朧としてたから。ごめん。でも君に言ったことはちゃんと覚えてるよ。
Do you remember what I said?
返事したの？
He's like, you responded? I guess he didn't hear me. Wait, how could he have not have figured it out yet? I mean, I kissed him already.
待って、なんて言ったの？
I giggled again. He might have been cold under pressure when he was playing games or making deals, but when it came to romance, well, I...
待って。やっぱり、もう一度ちゃんと言うよ。その方が返事を聞いたとき、
Oh, really?
納得できる。
Oh, okay. Go ahead.
恋愛とか、ろくにしたことないから、よくわからないんだけど。
I'm sorry, it just kind of hit me like, what am I doing? What am I really doing? Okay, whatever. This is adorable. I'm just gonna roll with it.
僕は、君のことが好きだと思う。いや、好きだ。
Okay.
だから、君さえ良ければ、これからも一緒にいたい、です。
Aww.
それで、もし OK なら、これを受け取ってほしい。
You're gonna give me something? This? Oh. He reached over next to his pillow and picked up his playbox jump, the one he'd had with him all week.
やっぱり僕はゲームが好きだから、これからは離れられないと思う。だから、好きなものを好きな君にも気に入ってもらえたら、すごく嬉しいんだけど。
His hands were shaking a little, and I could tell he was getting ready to back out rather than risk rejection. So I reached over and grabbed the PBJ before he could. I'm not very good. Will you teach me?
いいの？
Yeah, I mean, I feel the same way. I want to know what the guy I like likes.
好きな人。
I mean, I like you.
そっか。すごいな。夢みたいだ。
He said it's like a dream, not a movie.
ありがとう、サキ。すごく嬉しいよ。
His smile made my chest feel warm. That was pretty sudden, though. I didn't expect you to just wake up and tell me that.
焦ったんだよ。もし退院しちゃったら、君とはもう会えなくなると思ったから。
Oh,
だ
really?
から、今
Oh,
言わなく
really?
ちゃと思ったんだ。
Because last time I woke up, somebody wasn't there. I'm just saying. Really? Well, you shouldn't have been so worried. I was gonna come back to visit if they'd sent me home.
そうなの？
Yeah, of course.
なんだ。じゃあ、僕の早とちりだったのか。
I mean, it's a good thing you stressed out, though, because you guys just confessed your love for each other. He laughed a little to himself and sighed with relief.
お、今日は二人とも起きてるな。
Hey, Shirabe, what's up? Shirabe,
僕たちもいるよ。
are you all better now?
昨日で退院許可は下りている。それにやるべきことが山積みだからな。いつまでも休んではいられない。
やるべきこと？
ああ、そっか。メオシさんは知らないんだよね。
What happened? They proceeded to explain what had happened after we'd collapsed. Although they tried to capture Hogstein, he'd escaped, and they'd never been able to learn who he was.
結局、真実は闇の中か。
何？心配はいらんよ。俺がすぐに明らかにしてみせるさ。それに警察もすでに動き始めてる。
Yeah, we do have a couple detectives on our side.
ああ、俺も今日の午後には職場復帰して現場へ向かう予定だ。
仕事熱心だよね。僕もスケジュールにかなり穴を開けちゃった分、来週から忙しくなるけど。
みたらしさんと浦部さんは？
まだしばらくは入院だそうだ。あの二人は結構な大怪我だったからな。
容体が落ち着いたら浦部君まろも事情聴取を受けることになる。そうすれば事件も解決に近づくだろう。
Oh.
お前たちも今はゆっくり休んでおけ。事情を聞くことにはなるだろうが、しばらくは警察にも配慮するよう手を回しておく。
Well, thank you, Shido. That's very nice of you. Thanks.
っていうか気になってたんだけどさ、なんで二人は同室なの？いくら事件で入院患者が増えたって言っても男女同室ってのはまずくない？
Oh, I made sure they put us together. I wanted to be there when Kota woke up. I did not know
そう
that.
だったんだ。
なんかずるい。僕なんて調べさんと同室だったのに。
That means you get all the sweets. Come on.
何か不満だったのか？
だって調べさん、舞ちゃんがみたらしさんのお見舞いに行ってる間、ずーっとへこんでるんだもん。
Oh, but she's so adorable.
そういえばその件について俺のところに愚痴を言いに来たこともあったな。
Shinabe, really?
お前さんらも親になればわかるだろうさ。
That's awesome. Well, I'm glad to hear Mai's safe.
ああ、怪我もなくピンピンしてるよ。近いうち顔見せついでに見舞いに連れてくる。目押しもいいか？
あ、うん、まあ。
なんだ、はっきりしないな。もしかして子供が嫌いなのか？
You know, now that I think about it, there had been one point where Kota had turned and left as soon as he spotted Mai. Maybe that was why.
嫌いなわけじゃないけど、少し苦手かな。大人以上にどう接していいかわからないから。変なことを言って傷つけたくないし。
そんなことを気にしてたのか。平気さ。子供ってのは意外にタフなもんだ。
まずはゲームの話でもすればいいんじゃない？確か舞ちゃんも好きって言ってたし。
そう。じゃあ、
Yeah, let's play some
来てくれ
games
た時
together.
は話してみようかな。
ああ、そうしてやってくれ。舞も喜ぶだろう。
Me too. Kota really had changed. He'd spent so much of his life trying hard to avoid other people, but now he was doing the opposite. I'm happy for you.
何か言った？
No, nothing. He did grow a lot. I will give him that. A little later, I checked myself out of the hospital. I'd be coming back every day, though, to see Kota. Huh. Nobody answered when I knocked. Is he sleeping? I didn't want to wake him up, so I opened the door slowly and tiptoed in, but stopped when I saw a human-sized bulge under the blanket. Hey! I tore off the blanket, and underneath it, just as I expected, was Kota. He was sitting on the bed, hunched over his lap. Ha! I knew it. You can't keep doing this. The doctor said you needed to rest. You're never gonna get better if you're always playing games.
いや、これはその10分。あと10分だけ待って。次のセーブポイントまでもうすぐだから。
Is he really just... He is legit just playing a game. That's awesome. The last time you said that, 10 minutes turned out to be an hour.
いや、本当に今回は10分で大丈夫だから。
Jeez. I pulled the blanket further back and plopped myself on the bed next to Kota. He looked over at me nervously.
これ、前に話した新作なんだ。
Oh.
家族が届けてくれて。
No wonder he's so excited to play it. Uh-huh. I sniffed and turned away, but he held it out towards me.
さっきも一緒にやろうよ。
I sighed and admitted defeat. He was too happy to stay mad at. You said you'd teach me how to play, right? Aww.
もちろん。じゃあ、まずはこのボタンを押してみて。そしたら。
I leaned up against him and smiled. Okay, so now we got a good ending. I'm okay with that. I was a little upset when it happened, but that was a good ending. Oh! Okay, you know what? I'm gonna let this ending play. It's sweet. Jet Coaster Rendezvous, huh? Oh, okay. Ending theme song is With You. Okay, cool. So what do you guys think? Did you like it? Did you like Meyoshi's ending? Wow, they added all the glitter and the sparkles. But this is who I wanted to be with the first time around. I just can't believe he ditched me because I said a couple things wrong. Really, Meoshi? You can't make that picture look romantic at all. Not at all. Don't zoom in on his face. Oh, why would you do that? He looks so nervous. I feel like I'm watching the end credits to a drama. Like, that's what I feel like right now. But, no, it was good. It was good. It's got a good balance of, like, mystery and the romance aspects. So it doesn't feel as weird playing it. But I'm curious to see how you end up with everybody else. Although, I have a theory that the other guy that you meet at the very beginning, maybe that turns out to be Hogstein. It's possible. But if that's the case, that also means you have a relationship with them, which would be really weird. I don't know how that's gonna work. They're finally together. Whew. Okay, so next is Mitarashi, I believe, because he seems very interesting, and I know there were a couple of you guys that expressed interest over him, so I figured why not do him. There is on the guide that I found online a specific set that you should go through in order to keep the mystery intact, which I'm not 100% sure what that means. Oh, this is only a couple years old. I thought it was a lot older. Fin, yes it is. But yeah, I've heard that like if you do it in a certain order, you'll save like a big reveal for later, but I don't exactly know what that means. I'm gonna go ahead and start Mitarashi's journey on this playthrough here, although I don't know how far we're gonna get. Like I said, we're not gonna make it 100% through it, but we'll go ahead and get it started so that way this episode isn't as short as the last one was. So hang tight, and I guess we'll start doing our journey to get Mitarashi where we need to get him. Time to examine that statue with Mitarashi and Urabe, because we looked at the panels before. Myself, Shirabe, Mitarashi, and Urabe will check out the statue.
承知いたしました。それでは参りましょうか。
I really didn't want to get too close to a weird poison-spewing statue, but it didn't look like I had a choice.
しかし見れば見るほど気持ち悪い像だぜ。伝説の生き物だっつってたが。ヌエってのは平家物語、源平盛衰記なんかに登場する。諸説あるが頭が猿、胴がタヌキ、
So weird.
手足は虎、尾は蛇の化け物だ。
Shirabe tapped his forehead with a finger as he spoke. You seem to know a lot about this stuff.
まあ職業柄いろいろとな。だけどよ、そいつがなんでこんな場所にあるんだか考えれば考えるほどわかんねえぜ。
とにかくあまりガスに近づかないようにしながら
Yeah,
この
seriously.
像を細かく調べましょう。
Right. We examined every inch of the statue, taking care to avoid the poison. Oh,
どうした？
it looks like there's a button here. I pointed to the base of the snake tail.
腹のところにもあるな。
おや、足のところにも。
All in all, there were 5 buttons. One each on the head, neck, leg, stomach, and tail.
なんだよこのボタンは。押せってか？
No.
まだ押すな。押さねっつうの。
Mitarashi grumbled and turned pointedly back to looking at the buttons. I wonder if pushing one of these will stop the gas.
どうでしょうか。
とにかくこれ以上ここには情報はないようだ。パネルを調べに行ったチームと合流して情報を交換し合おう。
Alrighty, so there we go. We did our first step to get Mitarashi a little bit closer to us. So here Mitarashi is being heroically heroic and taking an arrow for us, but last time we asked if he was okay. This time we're gonna say, what are you thinking? What were you thinking?
無茶だ。気が強えな。そんな女、俺は案外嫌いじゃねえよ。
You say you got some fire in you. I don't dislike those kinds of girls. Okay, really? I'm sorry. I mean, thank you. I mean, I don't know what I mean.
いいって。とっさに体が動いちまった。ただ。
He grinned. Of course he did. Alright.
とにかく 止血しないと。
Yeah, I'm guessing nothing else changes from there, but he took the arrow to the shoulder so he can still keep adventuring if he wants to. So now, even though Mitarashi doesn't want us to, we're gonna follow him to the office because that's what we're gonna do in order to get our distance a little bit closer together, right? I thought about it for a moment, decided I should go with Mitarashi after all. I don't know what he's gonna say. Does he really have to turn our back towards us and do a thumbs up pose? Oh, Mitarashi.
んだよお前ついてくんなっつったのに
I know, but if you're responsible for what happened, please, just let me come with you. I knew he wanted to be alone, but running off just felt wrong to me. I needed to take responsibility for his injury. Mitarashi sighed.
子供じゃねえんだからさつうかお前まだガキのくせに変な気使うんじゃねえよガキはガキらしく大人に守られてればいいんだよ
He said that kids should just sit around and be protected by adults. Ow! I felt something thwack me on the forehead, and it was a moment before I realized Mitarashi had flicked me. He moved so fast I hadn't even seen it.
そりゃそうだあれが事務所か
While I was sitting rubbing the red welt on my head, Mitarashi jogged off toward the office. I'm not a kid. Well, I mean, I guess I technically am in school, but still. I frowned and ran off after him. Aww, it's kind of adorable though, just be like flickering the head.
倉庫の鍵は開いてやがるが電気は通ってねえな
Mitarashi grumbled as he wiggled several light switches to no effect.
あの豚徹底してやがる必要な場所以外の電気は切られてんだな
I mean, you gotta save on electric. Probably. I'll bet we can still find the first aid kit in here though. Fortunately, there was a sliver of moonlight shining through the window, which gave us at least a little illumination. I started to root through some drawers that looked like they might have what we were looking for.
たくめんどくせ
It was so dark that I couldn't really see him, but his voice made him sound much closer than I thought he was.
あ
Startled, I flailed around a bit until my hand brushed up against his.
んだよなんかあったのか
No, nothing. I doubt he thought anything of it. Someone with his profession probably touched lots of hands. I'm still just a high school girl though. Touching some guy's hand is kind of a big deal. I was suddenly very aware of the fact that we were both in a dark, cramped room. Very, very close to one another. Oh, here it is. The first aid kit, I mean. As I stumbled back from my close encounter, my other hand brushed up against the box. The first aid kit he'd been looking for.
あったかじゃあそいつを貸してくれ
No, I mean, you can't really do it yourself, can you?
あまさかお前が俺の手当てしてくれんのか
Why? Why do you think I came? I forced him to sit down on the nearby bench and set to work.
たくめんどく
Stop saying everything's a pain. You're gonna be in real pain if we don't get this wound cleaned up.
あったよ
Aw, we patched him up. He pulled off his jacket with an exasperated sigh, exposing the area where the arrow had struck him, as well as several other areas, like his shoulders. What I wouldn't give for a working light. Saki! Saki! You! I pulled my focus back to the first aid kit and quickly soaked one of the cotton balls in antiseptic. This is gonna hurt a bit.
平気だ俺は痛みには慣れてるもんだな
Apparently he was telling the truth. Even after I doused the wound in antiseptic, all he did was grimace slightly. Wow. I had a cut treated like this once, and it hurt like heck. He must be tough. Thank you. A lot. For what you did back there.
たくこれだからガキは嫌だぜ
What?
いいか何度も何度も礼を言うってのはいい女はしないもんだ礼は一度だけ心を尽くして言うもんだ
Huh. Interesting theory. I see.
それに俺はホストだぜ女の笑顔を守るのが言うなれば仕事ってところだまあもっとも未成年相手に仕事もクソもねえけどおっと 治療完了か。
I was gonna say, she could, like,
ありがとう。
twist your arm or something if she wanted to. Gah. He gave me a smirk and patted me on the head.
将来の夢は看護師さんか？
He seems scary sometimes, but then other times he seems pretty nice. That doesn't give him an excuse to keep calling me a kid, though.
なんか言いたげだな。
He paused as he put his coat back on to look at me, one eyebrow cocked. What should I say? Obviously, I already had to go through this a little bit to prep myself for this video, but we don't want him to treat us like a kid. My dream is to become a wife. Don't treat me like a little kid.
じゃあ何か大人として扱ってもらいてえの？
And don't worry, if you're wondering if I already know about all this, I don't. I just freaking mashed X until I got to the choice points that I needed it to be at, and then I could continue on from there. So, like I said, a little bit of prep work, but it's not like I know what's gonna happen here. No, that's not really what I meant. I blinked, and suddenly his face was right next to mine.
例えばこんなことされたりとか。
I'm sorry, what? Ah! I shoved him back, surprised. He'd been so close our lips had almost touched. She punched him?
そこさっき怪我したとこ。
Yes! Nice! I'm sorry, but you shouldn't make fun of me like that.
そりゃ悪かったけど。まあ、つまりお前はまだまだ子供だよな。
I don't think that has to do with anything about being an adult or a child. Alright, well, we got a heart, so this is hopeless. There's no point in arguing with him.
じゃあひとまず用も終わったし飯でも食いに行くか。お前も行くだろ。
Yeah. We ran back to the restaurant to find everyone else already there, and proceeded to enjoy a delicious dinner. Good. So we did that. I think after this, the hotel's gonna pop up and we'll be able to spend some more time with them even more. So, let's do that. Obviously, it was a little bit confrontational last time, so we're gonna ask him how he's feeling, not who he was talking to on the phone. I don't think I'm gonna be able to get anything out of him, though. Standing in front of him, I suddenly wasn't so sure that asking him what he'd been doing directly was such a good idea. I was just, wondering how you were feeling.
ああ、心配させて悪いな。肩の方はもうだいぶ痛みが引いた。が、今日のあれは正直相当な衝撃だったぜ。銃弾ってのもすげえ威力なのな。
Oh yeah, he got shot, that's
おか
right.
げでしばらく本当に気を失ってたくらいだからな。
Oh, well, take care of yourself, okay?
おうよ。
Yeah! Alright, there we go. So it should be about time for free time now. I got the distinct expression that our conversation was over and without a chance to ask about the phone call. Which is fine. You know what? It should like really be close to free time, so I'm gonna go ahead and just fast forward through this. And we should be right there, I think. Yeah, here we go. So we're gonna hang out with him and see what we can do, or what we can learn about him. This is the first time we've had like some exclusive one-on-one time besides when we bandaged him up, so I had to know what Mitadashi's phone call had been about, so I headed down to the lobby to look for him. Mitadashi,
よ
what's wrong? You look half dead.
それがさ、ここに来たら黒子のやつがなんか飲み物をどうですかっつう感じのジェスチャーをしやがるからよ。
Uh-huh.
頼んだらコーヒーが出てきやがって。
Oh, coffee's nice.
いいか？俺はこんな黒い泥水みたいなの飲めねえぜ。
He doesn't like coffee? That's fine. I don't like coffee either, so I can't give him any slack for that. Like, I'm more of a tea drinker. I don't like coffee. It's just too strong. What? The smell drifting up from his cup was really good. Did you put some milk and sugar in it?
入れてるんだけどさ、なんか違うんだよな。
Let me see it. I took a sip. Whoa, that's really sweet.
うっそ、マジで？それが甘いとかどうかしてね。
Is there something wrong with the sense of taste? This is like coffee flavored sugar water.
なんだよ、その軽蔑するような目は。
I'm not giving you a look.
本当に？
Really?
ならいいけどよ。
Uh-huh. That's kind of cute. He's just sitting there like looking at the coffee. He grumbled and lifted the cup up to his mouth, bracing himself for an onslaught of bitterness. I grinned despite myself.
なんだよ。なんかおかしいか？
Well, it's just, you keep calling me a kid and now you're scared to drink a cup of coffee.
確かにそうだよな。これはお前のことガキって言えなくなっちまったぜ。
He said, now I can't call you a kid anymore. Aww. He'd probably get mad if I said it out loud, but Mitarashi can actually be kind of cute.
くっそ。なんかニヤニヤしやがって。
He's so mad. I'm doing no such thing. That's awesome.
ちおい黒子、ミルクと砂糖目いっぱい持ってこい。
Why is he so fired up all of a sudden? We stayed there, drinking coffee and talking for about an hour until I decided it was time to go. The phone call probably wasn't anything, right? Right? I wanted to trust him, so instead of asking about it, I said my goodbyes and headed back to my room. That was a cute moment. That was adorable. Okay, so let's go ahead and go forward for a little bit further. I think I can get a little bit more out of this episode before I have to call it quits. So give me 1 second. We'll go forward until probably the hospital scene, I think, because that's when you really branch off, and I'm guessing the whole time you're in the hospital area, everything's going to be different. So we may stop it there, and then that way we can start like a nice episode with very few cuts and everything and go from there. But until then, let me jump until that section. Actually, yeah, that's exactly where this episode is going to end. I thought there's a little bit more in between before we got to this part, but it looks like this is going to be it for this episode. I'm sorry, I have no idea how long this video is going to be. It took me about an hour and a half to get through everything, including Meyoshi's part. So I'm going to go ahead and leave this episode here, and then next time, what we'll do is we will go in with Mitarashi and Urabe, and we will see what their interactions are going to be like, and we will start the episode from there. So I'm sorry if this episode was very scattered. Hopefully it was worth it. Thank you guys so much for watching. Let me know if you enjoyed. I'll see you guys on the next MAMJ Let's Play. It had been empty when I'd woken up, and I'd had to wait for the morning nurse to tell me what had happened. He told me to give you these, she said, and handed me a small package. Inside was a playbox jump and a letter. Okay? You helped me confront my past. I never could have done that alone, and I appreciate what you did probably more than you know. But I still don't have the courage to face the world, or you. I'm sorry. Goodbye. Kota Meoshi. That was all it said. Whatever we'd had, that small piece of paper was the end of it.